In Louisiana, the mayor of DeRidder is arrested just a few days after resigning her office on rape charges. In Kentucky, a prominent doctor is sentenced after attempting to hire a hitman to kill her ex-husband, and a rock star reptile breeder is murdered. These stories and more coming at you today, Tuesday, August 6th on Real Life Real Crime Daily, and I'm Jim Chapman.
I'm Woody Overton.
And we are back in effect on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday in the first week of August, and you see the weather forecast this week?
Hot.
All
triple digits.
That's exactly right. All triple digits.
Yeah, I did see that yesterday, and you know, it's good old Louisiana weather. Either it's raining or it's so dry the trees are dying. Yeah. And either way it goes, it's hot as hell.
Well, you know what? The prayers and thoughts go out to all the people in Florida that got hit by the hurricane this morning, and then it's going up to all the rain and everything. They say it's going to go up the East Coast, which it only hit with 80-mile-an-hour winds, which is barely a hurricane, but still that's enough. We've had enough of them, you know that, and
it's the rain that really is
the rain
with this one.
The slow moving,
bad. Prayers
too many years do it, and people, our thoughts and prayers are with y'all, and we're praying that there's no more this season, right? Especially it's hot, the Gulf water is hot as it is now. You know, the longer it goes without one, and the hotter it is, the more powerful they get off that warm water.
Yeah,
But anyway, let's get into some true crime time for Tuesday.
And we're going to start off in DeRidder, Louisiana.
DeRidder.
And that is, tell everybody where DeRidder is.
DeRidder is about as far west as you can go, and I would call it a couple hours north of Lake Charles. It's where Fort Polk is, and there's a whole bunch of nothing.
Yeah. Not a whole lot going on in DeRidder.
I think it's like, I don't know, less than 10,000 people in the town. They probably have more people on the Fort Polk than they do in the town.
That's right. Well, the town of DeRidder is making international news practically with this story. A former Louisiana mayor who resigned office just a few days ago was arrested this past Thursday on accusation she had sex with a minor. Yeah. Her name is Misty Roberts. She's 42, and she was booked into the Beauregard Parish Detention Center on the charge of third-degree rape and contributing to the delinquency of juveniles. This from Louisiana State Police. Police said that on Friday, the Beauregard Parish Sheriff's Office requested the state's State Police Special Victims Unit to investigate a complaint against Roberts for allegations of sexual relations with a juvenile. Investigators interviewed two minors, one of which was the alleged victim, and police said both confirmed Roberts had sexual intercourse with one juvenile victim while employed as mayor. Robert's attorney, Robert Johnson, released a statement saying his client is innocent. Imagine that. Yeah. My client learned late last night of a warrant despite not being contacted to be interviewed prior to investigators obtaining that warrant. My client maintains her innocent, and as it stands, she is in fact innocent. She's not been charged with a crime and or convicted of a crime. Well, she has been charged with a crime if she's been arrested, right?
That's correct.
Am I wrong on that? Okay, so on Friday, Roberts initially said she would need to step away from the office for 2 weeks, but she resigned the very next day. For nearly 15 years, my love and passion for DeRidder has been my foundation while serving as mayor, she wrote. This role has rewarded me many great relationships, and I'm humbled to have witnessed the hard work that the community gave me, and I'm going to try to overcome this through unprecedented times. However, I must adjust my focus and priorities. The mayor turned herself into investigators without incident on Thursday. Roberts was arrested at 10:13 a.m. and released at 11:30 a.m. on a $75,000 bond, and she's in some trouble.
Big trouble in DeRidder.
Yeah.
You know, you think you hear about cases like this, more and more it's the females, or at least it's the females that are getting reported more.
Yeah.
And especially a mayor. I don't know if I've ever heard of a female mayor doing it.
I've never heard of it.
But you think about, you know, she's an attractive female. I'm sure she's probably married, 40 in her 40s, probably has kids. And then when they do this shit, they they're like all these teachers and whatever, when they do it, they're fucking everybody. Not the kids. I'm talking about they're screwing over their entire families,
right,
and friends and reputations and careers, and you just do it all out the window for some teenage dick.
It's crazy.
Teenage,
yeah. Well, according to the charges, it's
right.
a teenager.
But at least that's what I'm saying. At least it wasn't a 10-year-old.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. It is what it is. You're the mayor, and the mayor oversees in most towns, the mayor oversees the police department.
Yeah, they can hire and fire the chief.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure that she is in some definite hot water.
She is indeed.
All right, let me tell you about a story. This story is actually a little bit old, but it just got updated, and it first got reported on March the 4th of 2023. It just got updated 2 days ago. All right, so there's a snake breeder named Ben Rennick, and they found him dead. And the cops thought he might have been the victim of an attack by one of his reptiles. I went to do a polygraph on a guy who was in a wheelchair, and he obviously very well to do. I can't remember what part of Louisiana it was, but it had this huge building, and went in. It was nothing but snakes, all these rare breed snakes, and he sold them all over the world.
Really?
Kind of like this guy, but evidently wasn't right. I'm talking about hundreds of them, bro. Every kind of snake in the world, from the poisons to whatever.
Look, people pay big money for them.
Yeah. Well, this guy Ben Rennick, he did it. I mean, that's what he did. He raised them and stuff. Well, he's dead, and they were like, he probably got bit or whatever. So on June 8th of 2017, Lynn Lee Rennick called 911 to say her husband was face down in a pool of blood. She said she found him in a snake facility, or whatever house they call it, which was home to more than 3,000 reptiles and worth thousands of dollars. And they are worth a lot of money. Then the coroner, right? So 48 Hours kind of was looking into doing a story on it, and the coroner's name is David Colbert. And he told him, someone being killed by a snake is not something that happens every day, especially in Missouri. But it turns out that someone being killed by a snake didn't happen that day either, and that's because Ben Rennick was shot multiple times.
And the snake don't have hands,
right? How do you figure you're a snake bite if you got bullet holes in your fucking hands, right? So they say shocking discovery, and on a hot Missouri summer day in June 2017, Montgomery County Sheriff's deputies were called to a unique and potentially dangerous scene. We told you all about the snake pit, and I got to read some of this. So they actually had body cams on him, and I'm gonna read you the body cam. So Officer 1 body cam video. I don't care if it's a 5-inch long snake. If something tries to bite me, I'm going to light its ass up. Officer 1, body cam videos looking at snakes. Holy shit. Officer 2, something got him, so watch your ass. They think something's free in the place, right? The first responders aren't sure if one of these snakes may have killed the renowned breeder Ben Rennick. Officer 1's body cam video, who is, and Officer 2, Ben Rennick. Officer 1, Officer 1, can we make sure there's no snakes around the victim? Officer 2, yeah. So the coroner said he's never seen anything like it. He said they're holding shotguns in hand. There were guns out, and you could just feel the anxiety amongst everyone there. Anyway, no one knew where the killer could be, coiled up or lurking, but while examining Ben's body, the coroner made a surprising discovery. Ben's body laying face down hid the true cause of death. He had been bitten by a giant snake. Hadn't been bitten by a giant snake. Had not, okay? He had been shot 8 times at close range. 8 times.
Jesus.
And anyway, so his wife, Lynn Lee, the one that called him, says she discovered the body, was standing by, and she was visibly upset. And what you would describe as somebody who was grieving and, a loved one or whatever, right? So, and then Sam Rennick gets there, the brother of the victim, and he says he was shot in the back almost exclusively. I don't think he saw it coming at all. Ben had such a future ahead of him. You know, he was 29 years old. He was almost 30. A lot was lost. So, and it goes on, y'all. Let me tell you what happened. And they talk about Ben and his career raising snakes and how he became famous for it and everything else. And how him and Lynn Lee had gotten married 3 years before, and that they had a beautiful wedding and all this stuff, right? Lynn Lee stayed home and helped Ben work with snakes. That's how much money they made. And in 2016, they opened a second business. But she opened her own spa business. And so finally, it just came out this past week that Lynn Lee, who's now 33, is a convicted killer for killing and murdering Ben. And I don't know whatever happened to the snakes there, Jimmy.
That'd be the question. What happened to them snakes?
Story.
I don't think any of the police officers that jumped in there.
I guess you wanted the money.
Buying any of them
that was coming off the snakes, and maybe they had some insurance. Who knows, right?
It's a big business, man. People, reptiles and all that. People don't realize.
Look, he had these glass cases on the floor. I don't know how he fed them. It must have doors on it or something. Yeah, that's
crazy.
I got no time for that.
Well, we're going to go to Louisville, and a former prominent doctor who pleaded guilty in April to trying to hire a hitman to kill her ex-husband was sentenced to the maximum, which is 12 years in prison. U.S. District Judge David Hale said while Stephanie Russell may have been a dedicated, caring physician, she also committed a devious, hateful, and potentially lethal crime. After her guilty plea on April 22nd, Russell was facing a proposed sentence between 97 months and 144 months. Her defense attorneys asked for a sentence of 120 to 130 months, arguing she was beloved in the community, but mental illness convinced her that her ex-husband was harming their children. It's what drove her crazy, her defense attorney said. Russell was deemed mentally competent to stand trial, and they learned the day after the guilty plea she was still trying to have her ex-husband killed. A day after her guilty plea. Right. Now he really pissed her off, right? So
no woman score.
That's right. And his name is Rick Crabtree. So the evidence includes a letter postmarked April 22nd, 2024, the day of her guilty plea, sent by another pretrial detainee to her boyfriend at Russell's behest. Russell wanted to know if the boyfriend knew anyone who'd be willing to kill her ex-husband, according to the memorandum. The letter included the name and address of Russell's ex-husband and personal identifying information. An FBI agent testified just this past Thursday that Russell asked 3 inmates in the jail if they knew anyone who could kill her ex-husband, offering one $10,000. Wow. But Hale said he did not even need to consider Russell's post-plea actions in giving her the maximum sentence. He called her crimes brazen and also ordered her to 3 years of supervised probation and a $10,000 fine. Hale could not impose a stricter sentence without the plea agreement being withdrawn. Despite the alleged allegations, after Russell pled guilty, the government was not allowed by law to withdraw the plea agreement, and it's unclear if Russell will be charged again for allegedly trying to kill Crabtree yet again. Right. In a short statement, Crabtree told the judge how tough the last 6 years had been for him and his children, saying Russell tried to destroy his business, repeatedly filed emergency protective orders, alleging he was abusing his children, and hurt me in any way she could. Russell was convicted of contacting an undercover FBI agent who was posing as a hitman and agreeing to pay $7,000 to the agent in exchange for murdering her ex-husband. Russell left a partial payment of $3,500 outside her medical office in a Dropbox and agreed to pay the other half after her ex-husband was killed. She was also convicted of stalking. Authorities found more than $2,000 in her home that was supposed to be used to pay the hitman. The state will keep $5,000 as part of the guilty plea. Russell's defense attorneys had claimed she was delusional and acting under extreme emotional disturbance in fear of her children's safety at the time of the crime. Russell and her ex-husband had been in a custody battle. As proof, they included text messages she sent to Brazilian spiritual healers saying she was looking for a death spell. A death spell for her ex-husband. That's right. Asking how much it would cost and whether a sacrifice would be used. Jeez. The unnamed woman responded that the price rate would depend on the number of people involved, but that she had an 85% death rate and it could be done within hours of using voodoo. What? I'm telling you, man. The woman also promised a 100% guarantee or Russell's money would be returned, according to messages.
Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts to spark joy, wonder, delight, and that's exactly what I wanted feeling. Hey, y'all, I ordered a super cool piece. It's a candle with a sculpture of LSU's Tiger Stadium on top of it. And each officially licensed laser cut wooden replica features up to 4 layers of detail, creating a bird's eye view of a specific football field, seating section, and more. And every label includes your stadium's name, the team's logo, and school location. And it has a coconut, soy, vegan wax infused with sandalwood smell that creates tailgates and touchdown scent profile, reminiscent of game day. It's invigorating like fresh cut grass and nostalgic like smoke from a pre-game grill, and calming like the crisp autumn air of a new semester on campus. Y'all, I love it. I have it at the base of my TV, and I'm ready to watch the Tigers play on Saturday night, right? Uncommon Goods. Look, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. And many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches. So shop now before they sell out this holiday season. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They have the most meaningful, out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. They even have gifts you can personalize. From holiday host and hostess gift to the coolest finds for kids to hits for everyone from the book lovers to diehard sports fans. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, not the same old selection you can just find anywhere. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/RLRC. That's uncommongoods.com/RLRC for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary.
Hey, y'all, changing my wardrobe from summer to fall, it's never easy. Luckily, Quince offers timeless and high-quality items I adore. Ensure my wardrobe stays fresh and I don't blow my budget. And there's nothing easier than going to Quince and choosing these high-quality items, like cashmere sweaters from $50, pants for every occasion, washable silk tops, and so much more. The best part? All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes, and I love that. I got the stainless steel Link Apple Watch band for $59.90. It's heavy duty, it's awesome, and it's like $100 less than I could find anywhere else. And I also got a 100% organic cotton fisherman quarter zip up sweater. The color is alabaster. Man, I can't wait to wear that this fall. And Cindy got the Mongolian cashmere boat neck sweater in heather gray. And I'm telling you, these are classic pieces at a fraction of the price. Make switching seasons a breeze with Quince's high-quality closet essentials. Go to quince.com/RLRC for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/RLRC to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/RLRC. You'll thank me later.
When asked by Russell what kind of spell would be used, the healer replied, "It's a death spell, my dear, not a love spell." You can't make that up, right? Woody. So according to records filed in district court last month, I can't tell you the inside details, but I will do your job, the lady responded with. So there you go. Voodoo spells.
Voodoo spells, death spells.
This is
maybe she was contacting one in Brazil thinking if I pay her the money, she's going to send somebody up here to kill him, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever, but crazy. There you go.
Watch out.
Hey, you know what? Hey, you got to contact the voodoo lady. Just get a gun and go kill a motherfucker if you worry about your kids.
Yeah.
Or call the cops, right? Oh, Lord. Talking about how hard these situations are, just like that, because emotions are so involved. We're going to go to Central Florida, and our hearts go out to these Master Deputy Sheriff Bradley Michael Link of the Lake County Sheriff's Office. So a Central Florida deputy was killed and 2 others were injured when they were ambushed after responding to a disturbance Friday night. It's according to Lake County Sheriff Peyton Grinnell. The shooting happened at a home in Eustis, about 40 miles north of Orlando, around 8 p.m. We went to the disturbance of one house. An initial call was for a disturbance. And then while we were on that scene, somebody at that scene told the deputies they needed to go to the other house, that's where there was a problem happening. And Lake County deputies arrived at the other house to find the back door kicked in and some commotion taking place inside. They were just met with a lot of gunfire, Grinnell said. The first deputy who entered the house was injured and trapped inside while another deputy was able to get out. Other law enforcement responded, and when they went to rescue the trapped deputy, they were again met with gunfire and another deputy was struck, the sheriff said. 2 of the responding deputies sustained gunshot injuries, and the deputy who was trapped inside the home later died from his gunshot injuries. The slain deputy has been identified as 28-year-old Master Deputy Sheriff Bradley Michael Link. So the spokesperson, Lieutenant John Harrell, described Link as a good deputy and became emotional while speaking about him during a press conference. Deputy Link wasn't even supposed to be there, he said. He wasn't even part of the road patrol unit. He heard the call to go out, and he went there to assist. And Link was a 5-year veteran, joined the sheriff's office in 2019. Brad, as our sheriff's office family knew him, touched the lives of all who were blessed enough to work with him. His contributions and the impact of this loss will not soon be forgotten, the sheriff's office said. All 3 suspects in the shooting were also killed. No official cause of death has been determined. However, the sheriff's office said their gunshot wounds appear to be self-inflicted. Talking about the bad guys in the house. Harrell also noted at least 7 deputies returned fire during the incident, but there's no indication that the suspects were struck with any return fire from our deputies. Harrell said the bunker-style dwelling where the shooting took place was stockpiled with firearms, ammunition, canned goods, and non-perishable food items. There was also a lot of literature to suggest that they were very much anti-government leaning people. And an animal enforcement unit had been to the home in the past, but as of right now, we don't show anything of a violent crime, the sheriff said. And Grinnell noted that this is the first death of a deputy in the community since February 2005. Horrible, man.
Yeah, it is.
Hate it for all of them. I mean, just doing your job. And you got 3. You respond to one call, and they were like, no, the real problem's at this house. And you go down there, and you get a shootout like that. And obviously, they were outgunned. But in the end, they killed themselves. I don't know. Rest in peace.
Prayers go out to all who knew and loved that guy.
All right. For real.
All right, we're going to go. I'll lighten it up a little bit. Right. And we're going to talk about a new 4-legged officer that has joined the Southeastern Louisiana University Police Department.
That's my original PD.
And y'all, Southeastern Louisiana University is about a half hour from where we record in Denham Springs. It's in Hammond, Louisiana. And I did not realize this is the first canine they've ever had, but the canine's name is Jula, and they welcomed that canine to the team just recently. University officials say Jula is a 2-year-old German Shepherd from Poland who specializes in explosives detection. Wow. Probably in a really good thing to have at a college, especially. So that it's a great thing that they have that now.
Specializing in explosives, but they're cross-trained.
Yeah.
In tracking and
drugs and all of that. Yeah. So they said Jula is the first canine to join the force in the Southeastern's UPD new K9 division. So they have a division now with that K9. Jula will work alongside Sergeant Michelle Blanchard, who attended a certification ceremony in Texas. Southeastern Louisiana University leaders say Jula will continue training in areas of safety sweeps for special events, sporting events, and emergency situations. Julia will be a great ambassador for safety, student support, officer training, and development. That from Southeastern President William Wainwright.
Also a great deterrent. Visual deterrent to have a K9 on scene.
Oh, yeah.
Man, every time I think about smuggling drugs through the airport and then I see a K9, it makes me not do it.
Yeah.
I'm afraid they're going to come and sniff me. But no, more importantly, so...
that's not my bad.
I started at Southeastern PD, and that's the truth. It's not a rent-a-cop. Although I had 5 arrests, it was May when I transferred. I had 5 arrests, and they had literally, the captain had called me in and said, I was like 3 ahead of anybody else for the year. And he said, we're going to have to send you to interpersonal communication school. You don't know how to talk to people. And then we go to the sheriff's office, and I get 5 arrests a night sometimes. But they have all they have the big building there, and all the big high schools have their graduations there. They rotate it out. You don't want to be a cop working motherfucking traffic details for this high school graduation,
right?
But that would be excellent. If I was a terrorist, I would do something. You want to kill everybody, kill all these youngsters that are getting ready to do whatever, take their families out. But now this K9 will help deter that.
Yeah, so. We actually, all my kids graduated at Southeastern from Denham. That's where they do theirs at, except for the COVID year.
My second oldest still works for Southeastern right now.
Yeah,
works with Crystal Hardison.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Sophia. So we like our lions in the family. All right, let's go on down to Mexico, right? And I used to fly. When I was with the state police, I was working 410s, and I know I've told you this. Every other week, I would fly down on Thursday to Cos and go diving. I had all my shit down there. All I had to do was bring some shorts and a T-shirt. And sometimes I'd fly into Cancun. It's a lot cheaper to fly into Cancun, but then you got to take a bus from Cancun to Puerto wherever it is, and then you got to catch the ferry across because Cozumel's an island.
Yeah.
Right? And so it'd take an extra 2 or 3 hours travel time where – you could fly from Baton Rouge to Houston in 35 minutes and then catching 45 minutes later, catch a flight. It's 2 hours to Cozumel, straight to the island. But anyway, I was singling at the time and having a good time. So I've been to Cancun numerous times. But we're going to take you there now. And police on Mexico's Caribbean coast said Friday they have found the bodies of 4 men, including a policeman, shot to death near a resort just south of Cancun. The victims all had been shot in the head and were found dumped near the highway leading out of Cancun. This according to Mexico's Public Safety Department. A former Cancun police officer was found seen going through the pockets of one of the bodies and said the dead man was a friend. He was detained by other police officers. This motherfucker down there, Well, I had to go through a lot of dead people's pockets, right?
Yeah.
On murder scenes and suicides and stuff like that, but don't be stealing off the dead. All right, anyway, the 4 victims, including that Cancun police officer who had been accused of accepting bribes to protect whorehouses, brothels, but who had been, they kept him on the force anyway, right? He was on medical leave at the time of his death. Authorities said the bodies were found Thursday and said the victims may have been involved in providing protection for migrant smugglers. They said the killings might also be related to a raid on a property in Cancun earlier this year in which guns and drugs were seized. Drug cartels in Mexico constantly kill rivals to protect their territories or businesses. And officials said Friday that over 2/3 of the 88 murders that took place Thursday nationwide in Mexico were believed to be related to the drug cartels. Wow. 88 in one day. Caribbean coast, and especially Cancun, is often used by smugglers to illegally move migrants through Mexico, and in part because the resort has good airline connections, like I told you, and cheap as fuck too. And there are so many foreigners that migrants can move around without drawing as much attention. Now, drug cartels in Mexico have increasingly become involved in migrant smuggling in recent years, and they also fight for control of the drug trade in the resort alongside the coast. These deaths come just days after authorities said a 12-year-old boy was killed after gunmen on jet skis opened fire in a beach in Cancun. It's like Miami Vice shit, right? Anyway, territorial disputes between drug dealers have turned deadly in the resorts along Mexico's Caribbean coast in recent years. See, back when I did, they didn't fuck with they didn't go into Cozumel and they didn't go into Cancun. They left it alone because they needed the government to bring the heat on them because it'd be fucking up their tourist shit, right? Mm-hmm. But now, I mean, we've been reporting on this show for almost 2 years. Now they're doing it. But, anyways, the U.S. has warned citizens traveling to Mexico to exercise increased caution. No shit.
It's a shame. It's, New Orleans is that way. You never really saw a whole lot going down in the French Quarter because they protected that hard because if the tourism goes down, they're in a bind.
The criminals need to stay out of it now. They don't care. They just know. And it's not, most of the time it's people from out of town, out of state that are doing it. I don't know.
Crazy. Well, I ain't going to Cancun anytime soon, though. No. That's for sure.
Let me ask you a question, Jim Chapman.
Yep.
Do you have a mile high?
I don't have a mile high, but I have an according to the affidavit.
Oh, is that a
segment? Yeah, it's a good one, too.
All right. You want to do that first?
I'll do it.
I found a mile high yesterday.
Well, let me give you an according to the affidavit first, because this one is going to
according to the affidavit.
This one will brighten everybody's mood right here today.
Right.
I'm just gonna ask this question: Have you ever been screwed in the ass? I bet that just woke everybody up.
You ever had your shit pushed in? Yeah.
Well, that is what a 40-year-old woman allegedly asked her daughter before using an electric screwdriver to direct a screw into the 12-year-old victim's rear end. God. As detailed in the affidavit, Jacelyn Ganowski and her 3 children were hanging picture frames in a Florida residence when the defendant used an electric screw gun and screwed a nail into the victim's left side buttocks. Lord. Questioned by the police, Gronowski reportedly said that when the girl walked past her, she asked the victim, who is 12 years old, mind you, about getting screwed in the ass. Gronowski cops charge placed the screw gun on the girl's left buttock cheek and pressed down the trigger, driving the screw into her butt. The screw, which left a visible mark, was stuck in the girl's body until she took it out. Ganowski was arrested Friday evening by St. Petersburg police and charged with felony child abuse, as she should. She's being held in the county jail on a $25,000 bond and ordered by a judge to have no contact with the victim. Ganowski recently moved into a small 3-bedroom rental home in St. Petersburg and has been licensed in Florida as an esthetician.
That is crazy.
And I'm telling you, I got the actual affidavit that I'll post on the Facebook, but it says everything. I just told you. The first question she asked was, have you ever been screwed in the ass? I guess she thought it was funny, but it wasn't too funny when she's in jail.
Oh, fun and games until the handcuffs go on, right?
That's it. And then police they write all reports.
That is crazy.
Regardless of the circumstance.
Crazy.
Hey, ladies. Are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? Well, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living in our environment right now. It's in your food, your water, the air you breathe, the clothes you wear, your skincare products. They all mess with your hormones. Then there's the natural hormone changes Your body goes through premenopause, menopause, and while it's a natural process, it doesn't mean you have to suffer through it. The good news is you don't have to suffer through it anymore because now you have Hormone Harmony, a formula made only with herbal ingredients that are shown to reduce hormonal symptoms in women of all ages. Hormone Harmony is not just a hormone supporting supplement, it's become a phenomenon. Women can't stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. And the biggest benefit? Well, my wife says it makes her feel like her own self again. And that's what women mention over and over in the reviews. And there are over 30,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony. And for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC for 15% off today. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC.
You know what? I'm going to save that Mile High because really it's kind of kinky crimes too, but we'll save that one. Yeah, that's crazy. Have you ever had your shit pushed in? And how are you going to explain that to the jury? Yeah, I screwed her in the ass. Well, anyway.
I don't know what this mom was thinking.
I don't know either, but why don't you give me a kinky crimes?
Oh,
yeah.
Dang, it's been a while since we've had
a long time.
A good kinky
this
crime.
One goes international, but probably involves some Americans too. So, it's Olympic time, right? Or just whatever it was. But,
yeah, it's in the midst of
what happens in the Olympic Village may stay in the Olympic Village. But how does a setting that's known for a lively hookup culture impact athletes' performances? Well, as the 2024 games heat up in Paris, we asked experts, and this is according to CBS, y'all, what the intimacy ban lift, which was set in place during the 2020 Tokyo Games. Now, check this out. During COVID, they know that every year that the Olympics go on, they're banging like crazy.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's a big, the athlete on athlete country. I banged somebody from Tokyo or
from the Ukraine.
From whatever, right? And so it's a big deal. And I never knew that. And I wish I had known this before I did that Olympic Crimes episode. Anyway, so they actually had to come out. It's like that anti-rape policy in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Rape is bad.
Right.
Don't rape a motherfucker, right? You can't do that.
Right.
Well, during COVID, in Tokyo Games, they actually put a ban on hooking up.
Oh, wow.
You can't be screwing because of COVID's going around.
That's some bullshit right there, son.
So that's right?
How you going to tell somebody they can't hook up?
Well, as the 2024 games heat up in Paris, they asked about this intimacy ban lift because they lifted it, right? In 2020, you couldn't do it. Now you could. And they said sex does not seem to have any positive or negative impact on people's physical capacities.
What?
Right?
Speak for yourself.
Exactly. Sociologists that's according to sociologist and relationship expert Jennifer Gonzalez. The CBS News, she told. She said, but there are a few related things that could affect performance, including the hookup culture itself. Now, in the Olympic Village, it's so much around the hookup scene, which often involves staying up later, getting less sleep, drinking and partying, things like that. So in terms of the physical aspects, those seem to be the biggest issues, she said. Clearly, things like sleep and alcohol can definitely have an impact on your physical performance, a negative impact. There are also some psychological considerations around sex. For example, sex can also release endorphins, which can have an impact on our mood and energy, said Joy Birkenheimer, a sexologist and licensed marriage family therapist. So while this won't give you super strength or speed, also known as psychological impacts, but it could elevate your mood and reduce worry. It may not make performance better, but it may remove mental blocks, the fear of not being able to do a thing. The feedback you receive from a partner on your sexual performance can also make a mental mark, both good or bad. Someone is still expressing to you your capacity for doing things, Birkenheimer said, if there's a performance failure, that could definitely affect your psychology. Psychology. I guess you couldn't get it up. You might have a bad day the next day.
Yeah.
Anyway, how a sexual encounter may affect someone all depends on the person too. Your personality, your values, your belief system, all that, Birkenheimer said. And for example, if you have some shame around sex and engage in it, it could affect you differently than someone else. No shit. Or for athletes who may have been relieved by the previously intimacy ban, potentially renewed social pressures. Come on, man. These are grown-ass fucking people.
Grown people.
Anyway, she said everyone is affected differently mentally and emotionally by sex, and especially by hooking up. Since in comparison to sex with a long-term partner is more likely to be associated with comfort and connection, trust, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, y'all, I messed up on the crime part, evidently. Them taking the time, look, there's a whole lot more they wrote. Them taking the time to write this is a crime. And there's your...
Well, let me say this before we get out of here. I will say that I got curious and looked this up. What is the most watched events of the Olympics and the Summer Olympics? And of course, your normal gymnastics was on there, and obviously the 100, which is an exciting event. It's over in 10 seconds and awesome. But you'd be surprised in that top 3 was beach volleyball. I
was about to say beach volleyball.
And if you've ever seen beach volleyball, you would know why beach volleyball.
Excuse me, I'm not one to be rude, but I do believe you're is eating your pants, right? Yeah, so I think of that.
All the Olympic guys were watching beach volleyball too, probably right there in person. But
who knew that hooking up was such a big thing for the Olympics?
I'm telling you, man.
Just go on. So there's your kinky crimes.
Well, at least they reinstated hooking up.
Yeah, right?
That's come on.
As fuck. I mean,
part of the Olympic experience.
You never hear about that ban. You got to wear a mask, everything else. Why in Olympic Village they put up signs that says no intimacy allowed.
Yeah.
Can't do it this year.
Yeah. And, if I was ever an Olympian, Woody, and I would have a corny pickup line. They'd say, what are you weightlifter or what are you? And I'd say, sex. I'm going for the gold medal at sex.
What'd you go to college for? Well, or where'd you go? Oh, the Institute for the Sexually Gifted. full scholarship.
That's right.
Anyway, y'all, we love you, y'all, and appreciate you and thank you and all that good stuff. Couldn't do it without you. Please continue to like and share. And, let me say this real quick too. When I was sick, and I really was 3 out of 9 days when I was in the hospital, they literally were keeping me alive. And I got a message from Courtney Coco's mama this weekend that Miss Ina, who's like my grandma, she coded. And then my best friend from high school, our birthdays are a day apart since second grade. I mean, all the shit we were famous for getting in trouble. He used to be like a major character in swim. My other best friend Colin said that they just sent him home on hospice. So we know a lot of y'all are hurting and sick, and thank you for listening and stuff. But we want you to know that when we say we love you, we really do love you, and I hope that y'all are just being blessed and healthy, and but life is life, I guess.
Can't say it any better than that.
All right, love y'all.
Well, until next time, I'm Jim Chapman.
I'm Woody Overton,
your host of Real Life, Real Crime Daily. Peace.
Shop early, save big, all month long during Black Friday build-up at Lowe's. Right now, get select pre-lit artificial Christmas trees starting at just $59.98. Don't wait to save. Shop these deals today, in-store or online. Because Lowe's knows deals. Discount taken at time of purchase while supplies last. Selection varies by location.